Hi, I'm Ryan with Front End Audio, and this is the Sidechain.One from Rockruepel, or I should say these are the Sidechain.One because we have two of them. They are a Mono VCA compressor with a feature that no other compressor on the market offers. It's a very cool system. We're going to talk about that, but before we dive too much into it, we're going to talk about what you get when you purchase them. Well, when you purchase a single Sidechain.One, you get the compressor, the owner's manual, your IEC power cable, and your external power supply. When you buy a pair of them, and trust me, you're going to want a pair, you get all of that, as well as a linking cable, because you're going to want to link these two together. That way you can process in stereo. If we look at the back of the unit, you will see that you have fully balanced XLR input and outputs, and then you have your 1/4 inch TS input for linking, and then you have your multi-pin power supply input. Now when you look at the face of the unit, you're going to see the controls that you expect to see. You have your threshold, you have your attack, your release, and your makeup gain. Here on this toggle switch, you have a 3-position, and this is for your 3 set ratios. The LED above that is your indicator, right? It shows you that the compressor is working. Next to that, you have your linking switch. We're going to skip one toggle and we're going to go to the next toggle, which is whether your compressor is engaged or bypassed. Now, you'll see that they're all backlit LEDs around to show what is engaged and what's not, which is very nice, and they're all different colors. The toggle that I skipped, if we look at that, you'll see that that is your sidechain listen. That allows you to solo up the sidechain and hear exactly what you're focusing on. And with the sidechain, you'll see that you have 2 filters. And each filter has a toggle, which allows you to focus in on the low frequency band, the middle frequency band, and your high frequency band. And that's on both. So that's a very neat feature. Now, when we have sidechain filters on compressors, typically it's just a low cut or high pass, whatever you want to call it. And they're usually fixed, right? You have like off 60 hertz, 120 hertz, maybe 60 hertz, 120 hertz, and 240 or 300. So, but you usually only have like 2 or 3 options and they're set. And for the most part, that works. You know, we're usually rolling off that bottom end because, you know, there's a lot of energy, a lot of information down there in those, you know, low frequencies that can cause a compressor to overreact, overcompress, be too aggressive, and we want things to be more natural. You know, we want more control over things. So that's why we use those filters. Well, with this filter, you have a completely variable fader here. And that just allows you to really dial in things from more of a ear perspective, a musicality perspective, and just, hey, where does it just feel right? Where does it just sound right? Oh, right there. You know, you don't have to worry about set values. You just close your eyes and you let the music tell you. And then the other fader is a low pass or high cut, whatever you want to call it. And obviously we can roll off that top end and let it bypass the compression circuit. And we can do something gentle, right? Say we're working on an acoustic guitar, mono. We want to get rid of some low end and we want to keep that top end preserved so that it's nice and airy and dynamic and not being compressed and buried. So we can just use that in that way. Or if we have 2 of these together and we're doing, say, drum bus, we can then listen to our mid-range. We can then narrow our sidechain filter and we can say, oh, there's the kick drum. Let's just focus on that kick drum. And let's have that kick drum trigger the compression for the entire drum bus. And that will give us a lot of pumping, right? We can create more life, more vibrance, and more activity, you know? And really, because it's a VCA compressor, it will get aggressive and it will get punchy. So we can really start to shape and sculpt the sounds that we're running through it. But then again, if we have a pair of these on, say, mix bus, after some analog summing, we can just roll off that bottom end, roll off that top end, and just get things nice and even, right? Say maybe have a little slower attack, a little faster release. That way we can bring up the guitars, the keys, the backing vocals, and not necessarily affect the drums so much, kind of keep the drums where they are, but just bring everything back up, so it evens out and just fill out our mix. And that's where this becomes very powerful. Having that ability to be the glue VCA compressor that you want it to be, or be aggressive and pumpy and really focused, and being able to really sculpt things by having this flexible sidechain filters that really lets you hone in on things, whether you want to get creative or whether you want to be traditional. And having two of these allows you to do that. Having two of these gives you the option for mono, dual mono, and stereo. And it's just something that that just gives you a lot more creative control over your music, and that's what we want, right? And something that's very unique about this as well is that when you have two of these, much like their Comp 2, which if you haven't seen our overview video on that, please click the link in the description below where Wes goes over that. The thing is when you have these in stereo, you have whichever one receives the hotter signal first, whether it be the left channel or the right channel, that's the one that engages, and the other one follows. So if your left side gets the hotter signal, it engages and the right side follows. If the right side gets it, then that engages and the left side follows. So it becomes more fluid, right? You get more of an ebb and flow, and it becomes more musical, right? So really cool system, a very cool compressor that just has a lot of abilities, like I said, to be subtle and glue, or to just be outright creative and sculpt things. Again, you're going to want to. For more information on the Sidechain.One, all the great products brought to you by Rockruepel, and for all your pro audio needs, please check us out at frontendaudio.com. Thank you.